Welcome comrades, back to another Minecraft survival video. My name is Cobblestone. You may be asking, what am I doing down here stuck in this hole? I'm buried somewhat in the very depths of the earth, in the bowels of this world. And that is because if you cast your mind back to the last episode, if you watched the last episode, I was building a little temple, a sort of shrine where I was going to keep the Nether portal. Did I get that? I did. Got that piece of obsidian. And as I was about to actually put the Nether portal up, I realized that I don't have any obsidian, which is a necessary element, of course, as we know, of a Nether portal. I hope I don't get... Yeah, okay. There's like quite deep lava here, so I'm trying not to lose any of these obsidian pieces because they're a hassle to have to dig out. Yeah, I went on a little impromptu expedition down here. This is the mine that I've dug out beneath my base, and I just kind of kept going down, 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 and I wouldn't even know which Y level I'm at right now, but it's very deep. And it's dangerous, and I didn't bring any armor with me because I'd hoped that I wouldn't fight any monsters along the way. I fought a few monsters. I've survived all of them so far. But yeah, I'm kind of tucked away in this little nook, this cranny down here, safely. And oh boy, if the lava doesn't take me first, I'm gonna try. I think, if I attempt to do the math in my head for how many pieces of obsidian that I need, it's something like 10. I think I'm gonna get roughly 10 or 12. I don't need to fill out the corners of it, because I'm going to be covering up the actual portal itself, the obsidian around the portal. And it's just going to be the portal, the purple block of the portal that will be exposed, and you need that exposed. Oh, I thought I heard a mob. I have 11. Actually, I'm going to get an even amount. One more. Oops, please don't ruin my dreams. One more, and then I'm going to try and make my way up and out. I also want to show you just how deep the mine that I actually dug is. When I was digging it, I kind of did so on autopilot and lost myself in the act of... Oh, that bat's on fire. How terribly sad. Poor thing. Oh, I thought it was a creeper exploding, but it was just me stepping on the redstone. Yeah, okay. I think... Ooh, it's up there. Ooh, okay. Yeah. This is not good. There are a lot of mobs. And I am not getting my hits correct. Yeah, that's right. Finish him off for me. I love it when there's a bit of friendly fire. There's friendly fire in the Minecraft film, actually, on a few occasions. Which is very apt, because it happens so often in the game. Usually with skeletons. Probably known for their inaccuracy with the bow. It's not even inaccuracy, they're actually quite accurate. It's just the fact that they shoot without any regard, without recourse. They just shoot at you. Whoever's in the way just happens to cop the arrow. And this one I'm actually terrified of. There's an enchanted bow and a full set of gold armor. I don't want it to be like a power 3 bow or something and absolutely shred through me, take 8 hearts in a single shot. Yeah, now I just have to remember exactly where I came from. I don't know if it's down there. I don't think it is down there. It's kind of like one of these little like caves. I think it's up there. So try to make my way up this ramp area. From memory, it should be through there. But yeah, when I dug out the cave itself, I just kind of, oh whoa. Like, fight you. Oh man. Oh, okay. It's all happening. All the friends. All my best friends have just arrived. Oh, I found it. Oh, they directed me in the right direction. Maybe they're actually looking out for me. This is it here. Of course, this is not a natural spawn. And that thing is in hot pursuit. I'm kind of terrified. Okay, I'm making ground on it. That's alright. Yeah, see how deep this thing is? It just goes down and down and down, and I couldn't quite believe how much I'd actually dug out when I just had to go down there a few moments ago. And we are almost at the top. This is where I found the mine shaft. If I make my way up here, where is it here? sorry, it's this direction. Yeah, that baby zombie has hopefully given up, put enough ground between he and I that he is no longer interested in catching this tail, but hasn't stopped me looking behind multiple times just to make sure something terrible isn't tailing right behind me on my 6. And it's nighttime, so I'm going to sleep. I've had enough mobs harass me for now. Yeah, I haven't really made much progress at all since I last signed off. I've had some personal things to deal with that have not like ruined my mood, but they've gotten in the way of how I generally conduct myself on a day-to-day basis. But, you know, I'm working through that and doing what I can. In the meantime, you'll see over here that it looks largely the same. I think the only thing I did was add these walls. But it is now time to get started on the actual construction of the portal itself. I brought enough. That is sufficient. And if you're thinking, oh boy, it looks hideous having these edges that aren't filled in, but that's okay. And there's a creeper there. Yeah, no, that's not happening. So you'll have to leave me alone, at least for now. Please. I can't even... Oh, man. I missed with the critical hit. There we go. Okay, got him. Got him swinging. And I also set up a chest over here so I can store some goods. If I need some boots, then there we have it in the chest. But I don't need the boots, not yet at least. Yeah, a lot of really random stuff in here. I'm going to put that back. I'm going to keep that. And this. So I have the design. I'm going to have to like defer to the design in absence of being able to remember exactly how it looks. But it's going to... no, it's actually going to be made out of spruce. Yeah, so I'm going to get a few more blocks from memory that I'll need. I'll also, of course, need a flint and steel. That was my attempt to do a Jack Black impersonation. Flint and steel. I'm going to light the thing. I'm not actually going to go into the Nether in this episode. Whether I leave that for next episode. What am I doing on the second floor? It's in these. I'm looking for the relevant block. There we go. And these as well. And I'll take the barrels because I think that's necessary. And some sticks. Yeah. Alright, my inventory is getting cluttered, and as if you've watched already, I've established that I do not like a cluttered inventory. I like things to be carefully put away into their necessary chests. Otherwise, we'll have issues. I'm going to take a dog with me. We need protection out there. Who is going to cover my bases where a mob should ambush me from the forest? Not that I hope there will be any mobs at this time of day. But I'm an armorless, poor peasant trying to make his way in the world. Probably screaming at me to put my armor on. For whatever reason, I just generally, like, have a bias towards not wearing armor. Something about it. I just like the look of the player, armorless. And can you please, sir, like, control yourself, pushing me around? It's the only issue with bringing out animals. That's why I had to sit the parrots down, because they just got on my nerves. They would endlessly get in the way of everything. And I had enough. So yeah, this is kind of the extent of what I'm willing to do on camera, and then I'm going to have a look off camera right now. And then hopefully finish it off. It's going to look something like so. It was initially designed to be just out of stone. I've kind of come to my senses and realized that there are some pretty cool looking portal designs that are made not out of stone alone, but incorporating spruce block. And you, sir, oh, I need names for them as well. I'm kind of referring to them as sir and young man and dog, thing, animal. It's not sufficient. Not yet, at least. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. And then it's going to go like so. Actually, put this up here. And that's going to fly out there. And then, whoops. Yeah, I'm going to defer to the design. It's not as though I'm going to copy this verbatim, what I've found that I'm basing my portal design off, but it's going to borrow heavily from the themes and the composition from this thing on the internet, this resource, which I really, really like. And it's not that one alone that has caught my attention, but a series of them. I really recommend for anyone out there who is trying to find inspiration for their builds to look on Pinterest, because there are some fantastic designs on Pinterest available. And it's not just Minecraft, it's kind of all games more broadly. Some very creative artists I've found on Pinterest, and they have a lot of good ideas for how you can make stuff look cool. I need one more spruce log, which is unfortunate. But how does that look? Looks better. That's gonna annoy me, just having those floating leaves. Yeah, so it's been a couple days now since I last uploaded a video, and in that video I discussed my thoughts on the Minecraft film. A couple people said that they were going to go and see it. I think one person did in the comment section below. I think someone else said something else. Seems like the reception wasn't terrible. Well, progress has somewhat been made, as you can see. I'm going to clear away this tree because I can't get a proper view of it from the other side of the river. I'm somewhat contented with the design that I've come up with. I have a lot of work to do as far as the detail is concerned, and the sun's already setting, unfortunately, so I might have to sleep in a moment, but that's okay. I'll keep this all on camera from here. I don't like these. Kind of gives it the look of like antlers, or there's like horns coming out of the top of the thing itself. Oh, maybe while I'm up there, I'm going to decorate it with a couple of leaves. I wanted to put some leaves on it and make it a bit greener, and it's not just this that I'm talking about with leaves, but also I have brought mossy block and mossy cobblestone to get that going. So it gives it a sort of like overgrown look, and as though I haven't given this sort of attention that it otherwise deserves. Also extended this down one further, and I left the obsidian in the house, but then I'll be able to just walk right in there, as opposed to having to jump up or follow an additional set of stairs. Yeah, it's not terrible. Let me know if you have any ideas in the comment section below. But I have moss block, I have mossy cobblestone, which is the namesake of this channel that I've created. The name Cobblestone. May it live on, may it live on. Every 10 minutes, I swear, my inventory is just once again filled with too many blocks. I can never catch a break in this game. It's okay. I'm gonna put the majority of the mossy sort of blocks towards the bottom of it, as that I think would make the most amount of sense. Generally, when something like is exposed to mold or wears away, it's from the bottom, the rot. They generally say that rot starts with the head. I think they refer to that with snakes, but in a build such as this, it would make the most amount of sense to see the moss and the green stuff towards the bottom, and then you work your way up. Oh boy, chicken jockey. How fitting in today's climate. If you're watching this years in advance for posterity, I shall note that this is... Oh, killed the... Oop. Looks like he had a moment's hesitation. He was like, do I actually want to chase this person? I don't know. Will it likely result in my death? Almost certainly. But I shall charge towards an inevitable doom. Anyway, okay. And I extended this out. Yeah, so there was like this bit here. I extended that. There are a few changes that I did make off camera. And I feel like I don't want to lie to you. I want to be completely honest. Well, not lie, but be deceptive in some way. Sorry, some issues with my recording, but we're back. And I can't stand to just leave blocks on the ground. I have to pick everything up. Such is my, whatever internal compulsion I have that compels me to not leave things behind. Mossy cobble. Give it a sort of gradient look. Where are my dogs? Activate my dogs. Set the hounds on these creatures. There you are. We do have dog armor, so I look forward to, at some point or another, gathering enough dog armor. I have a second hound over here. Hey, getting to work, they are. Two of them. That's what I like to see. Zombies are manageable. He picked up my chest plate. Zombies are manageable. It's when the dogs start to fight against. Okay. I've forgotten who the enemy is. Did you ever think there is a reality in which a zombie is not my enemy and I would have to attack the zombie first or have it attack me first before deciding to go in for the kill? That's okay. They're learning. The dog's in apprenticeship. And once they're ready, I'll upgrade them to a superior title. That is not yet. They have much to learn. Especially if they want to remain as my guard dogs. I have high standards, you know, and I have to keep it that way in order to ensure the security of the realm. Mossy cobble stair here. It doesn't look terrible. I might put the leaves coming down the other side, just to ensure a bit more symmetry. And that keeps happening. Which I don't mind. I don't mind the feature that you're not permanently locked out of a sign if you don't get it right the first time. Something, I'm not sure which update they would have included that on. I'd imagine quite recently, soon and not something that happened later. Put it on top. Maybe one more. Do it on this side. See? Man, I can't catch a break here. There we go. Alright, that's somewhat okay. I'm going to get the last two pieces of cobblestone. Obsidian, and I'm also going to sleep in the interim so that I have enough energy to light the portal alight and open it up to a completely new dimension. Maybe like one small point, something somewhat worth mentioning, reflecting upon the Minecraft film, is the fact that they opened up a portal to the real world into Minecraft, and that was the first portal that they actually opened up. Oh boy, my doors are open. Has someone been through here? Usually I always shut my doors behind me, just out of habit. If there's an intruder, I go upstairs and find a very unwelcome guest, but no, there's no one here. My dogs are following me close behind. Yeah, there's the fact that there was a portal to Minecraft from the real world, and of course no such portal exists. And the Nether portal, that made sense, because everyone knows what the Nether portal is and what that refers to. So that wasn't jarring, but there's some things that they kind of added, they contrived, that wouldn't otherwise have existed. What am I looking for here? Where is that block? There it is. I only need 2, I think. Yeah, it's just 2 that I'm after. But it's also a flint. And that is just 1. And is this something that I can dump? I'm going to... yeah, put the chicken down. I'm not going to eat chicken anyway. I'm satisfied with my potatoes, because they are almost an infinite and a very sustainable source of food that you can grow forever and ever and ever. Never run out of. It's wonderful. I recommend it to everyone. We are big proponents of the potato on this channel. And these shall be the honors. Flint and steel. The leaves, this design, probably not my best, but something to work on. Something to work on for the future. And I'm also going to set my dogs down so that they don't run away or feel terrible if they ended up doing a Dennis and making their way to the other realm. Looks good. Looks good. Looks good. Fair enough. I'm going to make that look less thick. So it's kind of like a run of leaves running down there, and then that's on the other side, so it won't be so visible. And then maybe I will have trees around here, but at least for now, I think we have enough going on. It's pretty hectic. Do such. Yeah. So, folks, there you have it. There is the Nether portal. An interesting inclusion of wood, which maybe I hadn't intended to happen. It's a happy little accident. Well, not so much an accident, but a design principle that I followed. It was something that was flagged in my brain, and it was a line of thought that I followed to its natural end, and I don't think it's so perverse. I'm going to leave one of the dogs out here. He can take guard while the other follows me back to the home. And I'm going to plant these along the way. This also reminds me that I need to start with a path, because I'm kind of running around on the surface of my base, and I don't have a path that feels natural to follow. And that would likely be something through here to the other side. So always what sort of block that I'll use for the path becomes important to me, as you want to be consistent with the sort of paths that you pick. Usually I do coarse dirt, though I've also been known to till the actual path block itself. I think it's path block or the path or something. It's called something like that, which is the block that you can create with a shovel on grass. I've been known to use that before, but I don't think I'm going to use it in this world. For coarse dirt, I need plenty of dirt, which is in this chest, and I also need gravel. And two things that I am got enough supply to get started on the path now. It's a good idea to do this while I have the spirit and the energy, and it's also like prescient in my mind. Sometimes I have a sort of build and something that I want to do on the agenda, but I just not so much forget about it, but I bracket it for later, and then when it actually comes time to do it, I've moved on to something else, which is a shame. But here we go. I don't want to destroy that. Okay, so it also destroyed that block. Campfire. Campfire is an absolute nuisance to have to rebuild. Sufficient? I think so. I'm also going to deposit a bunch of these things into here. And the leaves, you get a lot of them. They like clutter your inventory pretty quickly. So, it's not to worry. Yeah. Doesn't look so bad. And then my choice of block is the spruce slab, because I think it pairs quite well with the coarse dirt. Let's see, I'm gonna keep this going, keep the theme going all the way to the Nether portal over here, and then I'm gonna have these paths just running around everywhere to all the various parts of my base, or the community that I'm building. I think base seems to like give the impression that this is a military operation or there's something really important happening here. This really is important, but like I'm preparing an army or something. This is the base. This is where we're armoring ourselves and suiting up, but that's not really the case. This is a very peaceful village. It's a settlement that I've created with a sort of pastoral outlook. It's a guy and his animals, and he's got farms and crops and mines, and he's living alone, following the basic principles of the earth, and surviving by the barest of margins. The straight line that I've created here, I don't know if I love that, but I don't think that I can go too radical with the sort of path that I'm building. And the dog just jumps on top of me every conceivable way. It's frustrating in so many ways. I'll have to put up with it. spamming it in here and often missing pretty badly. It's not to worry. Here we go, here we go. And that is, at least for now, fine, I think. Let's see. I think I'm going to have stuff like going in other directions, so that should hopefully add a bit of variation to the really straight line that I've developed. One thing about nature, and I don't know if I've said this on the channel so far, but it never produces a straight line. If you want something to look organic and natural and as though it was shaped by the currents and the weathering of time, then you have to add a bit of variation and make it look a bit more randomized. Otherwise, if it's very systematic and consistent with its patterns, then it'll just look like it was artificially constructed, which in this case it was. But I want to give it a sort of, even if I'm lying and being dishonest, a sort of look as though someone had actually like stepped on this path long enough to wear it down and create a beaten track. In Africa, if you're familiar at all with safaris and the natural movements of the animals, what it's called is a desire path, which is formed by really like years and months, years, oftentimes over long periods of time. Animals traveling in one direction and using the same paths consistently, which sort of build it out, and you actually have these very artificial looking paths that form through time. But they are artificial in a way that animals created them, and makes it easier to navigate through the dense thicket. If you've got something that's already built out, I'm going to keep that dirt there because it'll become very necessary very soon as I start to expand. I think that's all for this episode. Maybe I'll like go and spam that outside. I just like to use the leaves because I think they look really good, but I have a habit as well of destroying the leaves. And that is an issue in the sense that I'm leaving blocks out and additional details that could enhance the look of the base. Yeah, that looks much better. I'm going to take these as well. I had a very long line of reed, or sugarcane, whatever you want to call this. It used to be called reed, I think. They renamed it to sugarcane. A long line of it here, but it was quite ugly to look at when I would stare from my window across the other side of the river and just see this big, hideous looking line of this crop staring back at me. Not the prettiest thing in the world. Got to do a quick harvest and then a quick breeding session with the animals, and then I'm going to call this one to an end, a natural end to the video. I've completed all the tasks of the day. I think I'm not going to put the Nether on the agenda for next episode because I don't have the right armor. I also feel like I should get maybe a few more things in terms of enchantments and healing capabilities, such as golden apples, in the event that I get close to my death. I want to be well prepared. I haven't been prepared for some of these mining expeditions, and some very close encounters on a few occasions, which is not something that I'm really looking so forward to repeating. So with that, it's probably not going to be next episode, or even the episode after that, but I think in 3 episodes' time, it'll be ready for me to finally face my fear and go and find another fortress and conquer that territory. It'll be a venture into the heart of darkness and the monsters that lurk beyond the wall and beyond the comfort of the overworld. But it should be necessary. Can I now divine a name for you, dog? Or parrot even. I have parrot 1, parrot 2, dog 1, dog 2. Not very original. If you've seen Bird Box before, which is the film on Netflix that aired a couple of years ago and was popular for a while, but the lady just names her children boy and girl for fear that, I don't know, they'll be too attached because it's kind of like an apocalyptic world. It's dystopian, so she fears that they'll, like, either she will die, or they'll die, or someone will die, and it'll be so horrific and unbearable for her. So she just gives them the name of boy and girl, and I think that's somewhat reminiscent of what's happened here. I'm, for fear of committing too deeply to these animals, I'm not giving them names, thinking that at any moment they may disappear from this earth. But that's an unfair way to live. It's unprincipled. And, oh boy, I don't even remember putting that stuff in there. Sometimes you just, like, open up a barrel, and then you find tools and items from, like, many, many moons ago. But there's rail and iron bars, and this must be my original tools. And that's my bow, actually. I'm going to take that back because I don't have a better bow than this one. But that is all. I thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. My name is Cobblestone. Have a good day, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.